I'm sorry, my husband's a militant atheist. I apologise, honestly.
Can I give you a book for him? Do you think there's life after death?
No, I don't.
Now, why do you think like that?
Well, because we've evolved over millions of years and, we're just organisms that have a period of time on this planet and then we die.
So you're a believer in evolution?
I certainly am.
Could you give me scientific evidence for Darwinian evolution, not adaptation, but Darwinian evolution?
You and me standing here.
Well, that's not evidence.
Yeah, of course it is.
Why?
Well, because the planet, several billion years ago.
How do you know that?
Well, because of fossil evidence.
You believe the fossil evidence?
I do.
So it's a blind faith?
No, it's not a blind faith. It's actual fact. It's not superstition or anything. It's absolute fact.
It doesn't pass the scientific test. You can't. No, you can't test it.
Of course it does.
You can't test evolution.
You can go back and see the fossil evidence and see how animals and creatures have evolved.
Are you an atheist?
Absolutely. Oh God, I mean, it's just nonsense. It's just people are wasting their lives, preaching and going to church and that. Just enjoy life.
Can I check something?
Yeah.
You're not going to run off on me, are you? Because I like interviewing you. You sound very intelligent and very eloquent, and I don't want you to run off. Will you stay with me? There are two things that I've found after witnessing to a lot of atheists. The first is that most atheists don't have the courage of their convictions. When it gets uncomfortable, they run away. It gets too hot in the kitchen. And I felt this was going to happen with this man because he was leaning slightly forward. And the second thing is that when they're given undeniable evidence of the Creator, instead of conceding, they immediately move the goalposts by asking, who made God? Here's Richard Dawkins and friends a number of years ago being asked an embarrassing question. Is there any evidence you've been given that stumped you? And Dawkins points to the fact that everything created shows design and order.
I have a question for the three of you. Is there any argument for faith, any challenge to your atheism that has given you pause, that has sent you back on your heels, where you felt you didn't have a ready answer, etc.?
I actually can't think of any.
I mean, I think the closest is the idea that the fundamental constants of the universe are too good to be true. It certainly doesn't in any way suggest to me a creative intelligence, because you're still left with the problem of explaining where that came from.
No, you're not. If I use logic to establish every painting had a painter, you don't get rid of that logic by saying, oh, but where did the painter come from? They're very predictable and disingenuous. Watch what happens. So, answer me this. As an atheist, do you really believe the scientific impossibility that nothing created everything? I'm not saying there was nothing in the beginning, but an atheist believes that nothing was the prime mover that gave us flowers and birds and trees and seasons, and puppies and kittens and male and female and all the species.
But then the alternative, if you believe a God, where did a God come from? But then the alternative, if you believe a God, where did a God come from? God must have come from somewhere.
I'll answer your question in a minute. You answer mine. You answer mine first.
Well, actually, it's quite complicated because it is nothing, but then there's matter and antimatter.
No, that's not nothing.
Yeah, if you put them together, it's nothing. Put them together, it's nothing.
Let's just stop for a moment and think about what he has just said. He said if you put them together, it's nothing. It's intellectually embarrassing to have to even think about this, but if you have them, you have something, not nothing. No wonder the father of science, Sir Isaac Newton, said atheism is so senseless.
If you break them apart, there's something.
No. I happen to know that when you've got matter, it's not nothing. Do you think you're a good person morally?
Absolutely.
How many lies have you told in your life?
Very, very few.
Have you ever stolen something, even if it's small?
No.
I can't believe you, because you just told me you're a liar. Have you ever used God's name in vain?
Definitely.
Why would you do that?
Well, because we all do it, because it's part of the lingo.
But why? Would you ever use your mother's name as a cuss word in place of SH? Would you do that?
I don't think I've done that, but I might.
You wouldn't. It'd be a
might.
horrible thing to do. Because you honour your mother, but you don't honour the God that gave you a mother and gave you life.
But I don't believe in a God. I mean, it's fine.
I know, that's why I'm talking to you. You're called an unbeliever.
Yeah.
That's why I love talking to you.
Yeah.
One to go, and I appreciate your honesty. Jesus said if you look at a woman and lust for her, you commit adultery with her in your heart. Have you ever looked at a woman with lust?
I'm sure I have.
You had sex before marriage?
Yes.
So, Mike, Here's a quick summation. You've just told me you're a lying, thieving, blasphemous, fornicating adulterer at heart, and you have to face God on Judgment Day.
I'm not worried one bit. I actually think hell might be a more interesting place to be. It might have some more interesting characters. And anyway, what am I going to do in heaven? What am I going to do? Sit there for kind of infinity?
There's no pleasure in hell. All pleasure comes from God. And the Bible promises when God's kingdom comes to this earth, when we inherit the earth and the curse is taken off, with no earthquakes, floods, diseases, famines, pains, tsunamis, suffering and death, where we're given new bodies like Jesus had when he rose from the dead that never get sick or diseased or age, then we're going to have pleasure forevermore. That's what the Bible teaches. In fact, 1 Corinthians 2 verse 9 tells us that there's nothing we see in creation that's anywhere near as incredible as what God has got in store for those that love him.
I'm not interested in that. Anyway, I think you've had my 2 or 3 minutes.
Give me one more minute, okay?
One more
Please.
question, go on.
Please
There
stand
is no God, right? It's all a waste of time. You should be much better, surfing or something like that than time, messing around with just superstitious
Okay,
nonsense.
could you give me 1 minute?
No, I'm done.
Really?
Go on, one more question.
Have you heard of Jesus dying on the cross?
Look, I went to a Catholic primary school. They were utterly evil, the people there. So don't give me any nonsense about good people and God and all of that. You'd be much better to forget about God, enjoy life, be a good person, and end of story. It's really good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet
Thanks for your patience with me. I really appreciate it.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, you know what they are?
What are they?
In-N-Out cards. It's the best burgers in California. You'll love them.
Oh,
They're really
thank
nice.
you very much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my husband's a militant atheist. I apologise on it.
Can I give you a book for him that he might enjoy? Can I show you on camera?
Yes.
No, we're done.
Mike, it's called Scientific Facts in the Bible. You'll enjoy it. Let me give it to you, okay?
Yeah. Oh, I see. Oh, fine.
I wrote that book.
Oh, did you?
You might like to read it to him when he's
Yeah.
tied down.
No, I do. I'm much more of a believer than my
Well,
husband.
Mike doesn't realize
I
this,
do
but
pray on a regular basis. I pray for him as well.
Yeah, well, we will
Save
too.
his soul.
A lot of people will be praying for you. And Mike, you don't realize this, but I love you, I care about you, and I want to see you in heaven, not in hell.
I care about you. You seem a nice guy, but I just honestly spend your time enjoying life. Work hard, play hard, enjoy life. Don't worry about religion. It's nonsense.
It's very kind of you. I pray for him privately, so.
Well, we will too.
I appreciate that. Maybe just something you've said now might sort of resonate in his subconscious, that one day he sort of sees that, his views are open to questioning.
Yes. Well, I gave him something to think about.
I think you did.
Yeah.
I think you did. And that's really nice what you guys are doing here, because I think faith is really important, because it helps us feel, I don't know, like there's meaning in life, have a sense of stability,
And have hope in your death.
and have hope. Well, in death, but also day to day, I think. I think believing in God gives us a sense of security and safety, that there's someone looking after us, keeping an eye on us.
Do you ever read the Bible?
I don't. I haven't read the Bible, but I do go to church because my stepmother was Catholic, and I went to church with her, and I still continue to go to church.
Well,
but I will read this.
Can we have the Gospel of John? What's your name?
Connie.
Connie, let me give you a Gospel of John.
Okay.
You know what a Gospel of John is?
Yes, I think so. I
me
don't.
give it to
Yeah. Okay. Right.
That's a very unusual one.
Oh wow!
Looks like- Open it up.
That is unusual. Yes.
Connie,
Yeah.
let me just share something with you to see if it stirs up your interest. Did you know in the Old Testament God promised he would destroy death? And in the New Testament we're told Harry did it. Did you know that?
No.
Have you ever heard the gospel?
Well, I haven't heard it, but obviously I know of it. Yeah.
Well, let me share it with you for 1 minute. You got 1 minute or not?
Well, I better go, but I promise I will have a look at these and.
Please do.
Yeah.
Okay. He's off.
Yeah.
Take the time to
Better
read
go,
that.
because we're obviously tourists here, and we've got a program for the rest.
And let me give you something else. It's our YouTube channel. It's got 259 million views.
Oh wow.
And you might like to watch it. You'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Connie.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Real quick, here are 3 things to help you grow in your faith. The Living Waters podcast, the Evidence Study Bible, 200 of the most commonly asked questions of the Christian faith, and much more. The Starter Kit, 4 of the most popular gospel tracks, available at livingwaters.com. If you've never seen When Demons Try Hard to Stop the Gospel, you've got to see it. You can watch it right now by clicking up to your left.